Hello in the mix.
Welcome to our crib.
Dalen ñafe doole ñafe gëmoo leen yàlla waay
Legend in the making. Never thought about how long the dream would take when your confidence is breaking and you're fighting not to give in to temptation. Champion no be easy. Even a silver spoon needs food to feed a fool full of privilege. Money no be talent, talent be divine heritage. That's your leverage. Hustle every day where you know they see top. Bank alert still no drop.
I'm the brother, yeah.
You are listening to In the Mix, and this silky voice and pretty face is your girl Mariah, or as my father likes to call me, Imbrobs. I am very excited today on this raining day in Brooklyn to be in one of the coziest homes that I've frequented. To very good friends of mine and artists, creatives, supporters, friends. I don't even know. There's too many words. I'm here with my boys, Raj and Kamal. Woo, 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 woo. So I'll give you guys intros first. Raj is, first of all, a tattoo artist. He is a designer. He is a musician. So many things. My boy Kamal is a motions graphic designer, also an artist, musician. And you guys are both probably some of the most talented creative people that I know. And so I knew that I had to get you on the podcast today. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for having us.
Of course. How are you guys feeling?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'm trying not to talk at the same time as you. I feel like we're in sync too much right now.
That's one thing.
But-
You guys definitely are in sync.
Yeah.
You've been living together for basically, what, 10 years?
Damn,
on and off.
I mean,
We've known each other for close to 10 years,
Mhm.
but he was my first roommate, and we lived together for a year for
Mhm.
that, and then we were street mates for like a couple
Yeah.
years after that too. Actually,
So we were roommates like when we moved to New York, and then we
Mhm.
became suitemates. So we've lived with each other like
collectively probably
Like
like 5
5,
years,
6 years.
5-6 years.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
And how do you think that has, I guess, affected or changed or developed your relationship with each other?
Honestly, it doesn't feel like too different just because we've always kind of from the start we just hit it off.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like even when we weren't living with each other, it was just kind of like our different arcs, and then we came
Mhm.
back and like everything just kind of felt.
Mm-hmm. So Raj, you told me the story of how you first sort of not discovered Kamal, but when you were looking up people to live with, you saw his name and realized that he definitely was African.
It was actually it was like a random like a lottery. I think you
Mhm.
put the descriptive of who you want to live with, like your
Mhm.
tolerances, how late they stay up, blah blah blah,
Mhm,
and then they just match with random people, and then they gave me his name like close to moving, and I just stalked the man.
mhm. So this was like destiny then.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was like
exactly.
destiny.
Yeah, it was kind of random in the sense, you know.
Yeah, and you both have very different backgrounds. Like Raj, you are Ghanaian Indian. You grew up in Ghana for a bit, moved to Florida, moved to New York. Kamal, you grew up in Lagos,
Yeah.
right? And then moved to
Moved to Jordan.
Jordan. I almost said
Yeah.
Doha. I was thinking Qatar. Okay,
Yeah.
Jordan. What have these experiences sort of been like for you? Especially, I mean, Jordan is quite a
Yeah.
different
I know
culture.
it's very random, and honestly, like when people ask me about Jordan, I almost forget like I had that whole experience because it's like such a different part of my life. But
Yeah.
I think it was definitely like a very eye-opening, like seeing the world outside of what you grew up with,
Mhm.
very homogeneous, like Nigeria, everybody is the same,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
and seeing like all types of people from different parts of the world. I think it was just very eye-opening. Then coming to New York was just like extra. That,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And what about for you, Raj? From Ghana to Florida,
Um,
how did that feel?
Definitely just always a series of culture shocks and
Mhm.
just trying to find where I fit in and stuff like that. But it's also kind of shaped how adaptable I've become
Mhm.
and kind of how been able to find connection in a lot of different places because I think more and more the world is just so connected. There's so many people that are pretty international. And there's always a connection. There's always like
Yeah.
you realize how small the world is. Where it's like you meet someone 10 years later, like, oh, you knew a childhood friend of mine, and blah blah blah. Like
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. So, I mean, obviously, I know you guys. So, I went to school with one of your cousins, and Kamal. Nyahan, I know from Parsons. Shout out Nyahan, another tattoo
yeah, shout
artist.
out. Yeah.
um, and then also with Queer and all again. So, just living in New York, we've come to sort of form this community and friendship group. Have you ever considered living anywhere else outside of New York?
Yeah, I've definitely been thinking about it. I've been thinking of Lisbon a little bit,
No.
just because
Okay.
I know it's random, but like I've just heard things, just like talking to people about places to move to, like the art scene as well in Europe as well. Uh, just somewhere that's not the U.S. I feel
Yeah.
like that's a place that's come up. I'm a little bit interested in, and New York is just a lot. So I was looking for the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least somewhere cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So I obviously want to talk about how you guys came to music. You're both artists, right? And I think, well, you tell me, but it seems like your mediums have been started with drawing, and that developed into multiple things. Kamal, for example, I was on your website, and I saw that you said that initially music was not a medium that you felt necessarily connected to,
Yeah,
and you had to overcome some imposter syndrome before you started doing that.
definitely.
What was that process like? What made you feel ready to start releasing music?
I would say a huge part of what made me feel ready to release music was just like everybody telling me like to get out of my head and just be like, you can't do this. It's like everybody just being like, stop like overthinking this beat. Like you already have the skills to do it. And I think it was just like convincing myself that at the end of the day, like trying any other medium of you know any it's like practicing anything else. The art didn't come to me like
Right.
the same way the music did, but at the end of the day, it's a part of creating.
Yeah.
And for you, Raj, you music has been part of your life. I think a lot longer. You
Yeah.
started off as a kid,
Definitely.
playing
Yeah.
different instruments and everything.
Yeah.
My first question is, what's your favorite instrument to play?
Definitely drums.
Mhm.
I think that's the thing or percussion in general. Like I did xylophone, marimba. I mean, piano is technically percussion, and I'm not too like musically inclined in like the melody side, but like rhythms, I think in general. I get started with like we always had like drums around the house. Like we had a djembe that I was just flapping my arms on when I was like a baby. There's like multiple videos and pictures of me just like messing around. But yeah, same. I started with visual art and slow. I mean, there's things that overlap, like Kamal said, and there's like kind of like the creative sources the same. So.
Okay, so since you're an instrumentalist, how much of that is in the music that both of you are producing, or are you mostly using samples, or are you recording live instrumentation?
It's mostly like me piecing it together layer by layer. Sometimes like it really depends, but sometimes I've experimented with like sampling myself, but I haven't really found a good workflow of like sampling other people in the traditional sense, at least in like the hip hop sense where you sample and the looping.
Right.
But there's a lot of taking recordings from friends that have played and sampling that and chopping it up or taking what I've played, exporting it, putting it back in, and playing with that in that way.
So tell me about your joint single, Glass House, and you guys made a couple of remixes for that.
Yeah.
Tell me about the process for getting to that song.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about that today. And I was like, honestly, the process felt very, very natural. Like the way we started making music was by freestyling. Like we'll just find a beat online and just freestyle over it.
And just like after school, just chilling and
just try stuff,
just messing around.
Yeah,
just joking around.
And that was this process. Like it was mostly a beat. Raj, I don't know what the process of was making the beat, but Raj has been making beats, and then we just like freestyle and try to like polish it. And I'll say the hardest part was the post production part where you're trying to like mix and master. But like in terms of just recording the idea, it was so natural. I feel like we just bouncing off of each other pretty much.
Yeah. I think it was like a lot of my songs that I make or beats that I make, I always start with like what tempo do I want to do, like what bounce do I want to have in mind. And I think it was around this time or I guess 2 years ago now that I made it, and it felt more like I want something like a little bit more fast paced.
Yeah.
So like that was kind of the basis of it, like making something that felt more bouncy and like house, and that eventually made its way into the name, like Glass House.
Okay.
And it was also at the same time I got like a pack of like an instrument pack.
Okay.
And I was just messing around with it. Like, it was just like a messing around thing. I just recorded that to experiment with drums on it. And I remember the moment actually you and Nadia were going outside, and you're like, what is that shit? On some Jay-Z that meme. And I was like, oh, you like it? Like I was just messing around. Like it's cool, it's cool. And then we sat on that for a long time. And, like the vocal part of it, writing lyrics, that's not my strong suit at all. So like there was a period of time where it was in stasis. Like it was kind of marinating in the background, and then it was a moment of
just like
improvisation where we kind of just like mumbling over it, which that's kind of the heavy part of our process in general.
I feel like we just try to get something to feel right without thinking too much about the words first.
Right.
And I know the words. Raj is always like,
yeah, that's my biggest hurdle. Honestly,
Raj is always like, I don't know if I can.
It's not that simple, guys. Like just do it, just write it. And I'm like, guys,
I don't know why he's always like stressing out about it, because this man be rapping, and I don't even know, he be rapping, and
partially okay. So even to go back like to my first vein of creativity, even when I was learning how to read books when I was like 3 or 4, I would always go to the picture and I would gravitate towards that and make my own story based on the picture, and I would redraw the picture and recreate the illustration rather than reading the words. And I was just like, those words don't really like, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Why am I messing with the words?
Right.
It's 1,000.
Right. I'm like, I don't need to read, right? But like, I feel like in that way, it's always been that case where it's like I've always used other mediums to express myself, and writing and using the words as a creative medium is pretty much kind of the most recent and like last thing that I've started to really experiment with. Exactly.
So would you consider yourself more of a producer than, I guess, a rapper or a singer?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Have you produced?
I'm not a rapper.
Have you produced for other people, other artists? Or you're only doing
not
it for...
generally. I mean, in the friend group, like we've recreated songs and beats like that, but not generally.
Yeah. Speaking of friend group, and you also mentioned Nadia, you guys have really built this creative community around you, and you're talking about the challenges that you have with writing, for example, and then I'm sure there's the post-production challenges as well. How much of your friends are you? Does that make sense? How much of your friends are you using in terms of your creative process? Like, how are you guys pulling your friends in to sort of help you produce a body of work?
Yeah, I'll say for both of us, it's a lot of our friends helping us throughout the process. Like for me, even getting into the music, like I feel like production was a huge hurdle I had to get over, and I tried learning how to produce, and I still love it. I just do it for fun now. But production wise, I lean heavily on my friends. Like I lean on Raj, as you know, for the song. August, my friend Max.
Shout out August and Max.
Shout out August and Max, legends. You know, they have music coming out soon too. So yeah, it's just.
I mean, Bube, you've been working with them quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm just finding people online too. Like Bube Oshunda is actually, I don't know if you know Oshunda, but he's a great like Ghanaian musician.
Okay.
He produces.
You're putting me on.
But yeah, just lean heavily on like people that I just get along with. So like we don't have to talk too much to understand what the vision is. But I honestly don't even be knowing how to explain what I want half the time. So you need to read my mind. You need to like, if you can't read my mind, we can't work together.
So you would say it's a very intentional value that you have with surrounding yourself with people that you can get along with and have similar tastes to.
Definitely. Yeah.
And that has produced some of your best work.
Bangers.
Raj, I want to talk about the story behind your artist name, Yawnee. Tell the In the Mix audience how that came about.
So that came about, I think, even just in the vein of like having difficulty with like words and naming things. I've always just tried to let the work speak for itself, even like naming my pieces. that's arguably one of the hardest parts for me, because how do you encapsulate this whole thing into one label, one name? But there was a period of time where I was like, it was really heavily on my mind, and it was kind of in conjunction. Like I took a tea break, I stopped smoking weed for a little bit, so naturally I had like very, very vivid dreams for a little bit of time, and there was this one dream that I had, like damn near lucid dream, where it was like I was this like mushroom character. Hear me out. I was like an animated mushroom character that was just like, it was like a hat, but like it was like a mushroom head, and I was just like in my bag, just like smoking weed, and I was just like so tired, like so sleepy and yawny, and just like foreshadowing.
Yeah.
But then it's always like it kind of delved into something that, like when I was very young, I used to have these like what I understand now to be like anxiety attacks and panic attacks, and that's how I discovered I had asthma, where it'd be like me pretty much trying to catch my breath with yawning. And I notice a lot of times if I'm like anxious or something, I'll start yawning or something. Like it is kind of like a thing.
That's just how your body manifests.
Yeah, that's how my body manifests it.
Yeah.
Exactly. But in that dream, it was just like I was backstage, and in the background I heard Yawnee, and then I was like literally like behind this curtain smoking weed, and I didn't know it was like a setup for the curtain to open, and the curtain opened, and then it was just like Yawnee, and I just started performing. I don't even know what I was performing, but I was like in that character, and I was Yawnee in the dream. So when I woke up, I was like, I'm not gonna think about it anymore. Like that's like it came to me, and I'm like,
came to you.
Yeah, it came to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I didn't want to fight it. I was like, why do an uphill battle? And yeah,
I kind of have this crazy theory about how humans are not supposed to be not. This is gonna sound crazy. Humans are not supposed to be sober necessarily. I think generally in the animal kingdom, you find that animals, humans, obviously, we're always sort of finding fermented fruits, which is alcohol. All these mushrooms, weed is a natural plant, obviously. How much do you think sort of smoking weed helps with your process, your creative process, and just sort of centering yourself for? Well, come on, you don't smoke.
I don't smoke.
Right.
I don't smoke because weed scares me.
Right. And it should. Okay, stay away from drugs, kids.
I don't smoke because weed scares me. And I don't have anything.
Also, it's legal here, by the way. So
it's all for the same.
I mean, I've had my experience with weed, and I think honestly, it does like bring out like a crazy creative side. And I remember when I spoke back then that like when I was freestyling, I was like surprising myself like where these words come from. But I think there's still a way to tap into that side, and I still do that now that I don't smoke.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, well, have you heard of the stoned ape theory?
No, what's that?
You should look into it, but I don't want to get anything wrong. But I think it's pretty much that modern humans and our level of consciousness have evolved from our long ago ancestors stumbling upon psychedelic plants, and our brain and level of ability to think in a complex way evolved alongside psychedelic drugs.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's aligned with what you're saying. It's really interesting though.
I can see that.
Look into that.
Yeah, obviously everything in moderation, guys. I don't want to say. I don't want them to tell me that I'm encouraging.
No, definitely not. Like,
but I definitely feel like there's a natural, like, element to sort of using your environment around you to, just give you a little inspiration. One way or the other. So I'm glad that you talked about that. Come on, I keep looking at your shirts, Mandy in the Jungle, right? Shout out Cruel Santino. Is that one of your inspirations for music?
Yeah, definitely. I'll say as I was picking out this shirt today, I was like, damn, I haven't worn it in so long. I mean, it got a little stained, so I don't wear it outside too much.
I don't think they can see. They can't see.
It was one of those things. I was like, let me preserve it. I don't want it to get exposed on this. But definitely this project was very special to me because like I would say like Santi Odunsi, like when I found out about their music, it was one of the first times that I felt like Nigerian music was doing something that was very different from what I grew up with, but still felt very extremely like familiar, you know. And yeah, I think that's why I try to like put into my sound right now. Just try and create something that feels very authentic to myself, but still familiar in some way. And yeah, I don't know. I can talk more about the project itself, but yeah,
Please.
Santi's just the good. Santi's like,
Santi's the good.
he's just the good. He just
100%.
knows how to like create a feeling that yeah, that was it. It's not even about the word sometimes. Like I don't know half the time what he's talking about.
Right.
I don't know half the time.
It's the vibe.
Exactly. But you just feel it. Like you just know like it's coming from his heart, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. I feel like even for the podcast, I've leaned more on. Well, I mean, apart from also just being those are people that I know.
Yeah.
Just the alternative artists, African artists are really sort of just my favorites. I think they've done the most interesting thing in a long time from with African music, and just sort of the blend with trap a little bit and R&B. It's like a whole new thing that like people can't really capture.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting, and that's what I like to sort of focus on, which is why I also invited you guys on, because again, just people that are doing things differently and trying new things. What other inspirations do you guys have? Music inspirations?
So much. I mean, there's genres that I follow. Definitely bass heavy stuff. Growing up in South Florida, it was very loud bass,
Right.
move your body type music.
Right.
But there's also like the melodic stuff that echoes what my mom used to listen to, Mariah Carey, the Sade, you know, that's kind of all baked into my inspirations. But yeah, I try. It's not even like an intentional thing, but I feel like I don't put so much emphasis on the who, and it's more so like the what. Like so, sometimes there's artists that their songs I can't even remember the name of the artist, and it's just like that's one of my favorite songs for this period of time.
Right. It just takes you back to a particular.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like I think creativity comes from like the same source, and we're kind of like a vessel channeling something. But yeah.
Would you say it feels spiritual to you?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. We've definitely shared spiritual moments with just working on music together.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Even like if we're jamming or something, there's just a moment where we do the whole thing, we come out of it, we're just like yo, did y'all feel that? Like,
exactly. Like the energy, you know the energy is there.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to explain it. Yeah.
And so, I mean, the one thing that I really enjoy about you guys is that this is not only a hobby for you or anything. You guys, even professionally, you're working a lot with music and creativity, and creativity is like your whole life, essentially. Raj, you do a lot of set design, Kamal, you do motion and graphics design. What are the full circle moments that you've had with artists that, you know, you've listened to and supported, and then all of a sudden you're working with them?
Yeah, definitely a big one that just passed was doing the set for Rema for his performances,
Right.
both at Coachella.
All right.
Definitely, that was
You
shout out
better,
to
you
Dots,
better, you
man.
better toot your own horn.
That's
So the big, I'm sure you guys have seen the Rema's stage sets up with this big, I don't even know, rock formation, this bats thing.
We call it a back gate.
Okay,
but
the bad gates.
the back
So
gate.
you were part of the team that did that for was
Yeah.
it Coachella?
Well, so the Coachella one was like the rocky stage with the swords, and then the bigger one was for Madison Square Garden in O2. But that whole thing is interesting because they had their own set designers. And I reached out to the scenic fabrication company that I work at right now as a designer. And there's discrepancies and things that they can't say that, oh, this person actually designed it, but I work closely with their set design team to bring their concept to life, because they came with the concept like, we want this back gate here, we want it to feel like this and do that and blah blah blah, and then we bring it from like conception to visual and like actual geometric, and then make it to go on stage.
And are you working throughout that whole process? You're doing the building apart from the
No.
designing, you're doing the okay. Okay, you just design it. Okay.
I mean, just the scale of those things.
The modeling too.
Yeah, I mean, I did the 3D modeling, and like, yeah, it goes from shitty sketches. My sketch, I should have brought the sketchbook actually. Goes to 3D modeling, and then I send it to our CNC people. That in this case, we did it out of foam, so they mill it on a giant, like a big ass CNC machine. Then they glue it together. It goes to another team. That's the scenic department. They put it together. They start assembling it, and throughout the process, I'm like nearby to like guiding in the direction that the client pretty much wants it to go.
Right.
So like I'm the design liaison
Right.
almost.
Right.
But as far as like hands on, like if I gotta lend a helping hand, I'm lending a helping hand. But I'm pretty much just the digital side of things. Yeah.
I mean, don't you have to have some level of engineering or architectural knowledge to see what's possible?
Yeah.
Or am I-
Definitely.
okay.
But there's also even just like the education we had at Parsons, like at least for architectural design, is very conceptual, very like intuitive understanding of structures and balance and things and how things are going to stand. So that's kind of like how my role manifests itself now. The creative director has worked closely with a lot of engineers, so there's a lot of people and a lot of vets in the company itself that kind of advise, checks and balances, kind of advise towards one thing or another, but you kind of get a sense very quickly for what's going to work, what's not going to work. And there's dozens of people along the way that
the checks and
make sure it's going to actually stand up and I'll fall down and kill your favorite artist and shit. But, yeah.
And Kamal, you do a lot of graphics for artists' cover work, for album cover work. You've done Wizkid, you've done Thames, you've done Alicia Keys, Lato, Mariah Carey, etc., 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 etc. What is that like?
I mean,
because I'm fangirling. I personally feel like, oh my god, this is like we're in the midst of celebrities, right? That are just working.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I feel like I've definitely got used to it, but in the beginning, I was like starstruck every moment. I'm like, huh? You want me to do what? You need it in 20 minutes. Like, right. Yeah.
And you deliver every time. I'm sure.
So thank God. I feel like, it came with a lot of, learning. It came with a lot of like, just feeling like grateful for the opportunity. And till today, I don't take any of it for granted. And I just remember like, I was just going through my laptop before he came just to like see if I had stuff to show you. And I'm just like, damn, like,
you worked.
I put in the work.
Give yourself the flower.
I mean, a lot of them don't know that I worked on it, but I know.
No, but you know,
I know I worked on it.
If you check Kamal's Instagram, you will see it. Not even. I'm sure you're in the credits somewhere. Maybe like at the bottom of the list, but you're in there.
I feel like that's how a lot of these things work. Though it's like there's so many people that put their hands on it, and at the end of the day, they don't know the person that actually made the magic happen.
Yeah,
it's like
definitely.
But
I think
also we're getting there though.
Yeah.
I feel like it's another thing for me is like I'm glad I get a lot of creative freedom, to work on these projects. Like sometimes they come with some direction, but a lot of times it's like me gauging what the project is, like the kind of artist it is, like what they'll like, what they wouldn't like. And most of the time, like they've given me so much freedom to make these things come to life. And very blessed, very blessed. Like Wizkid's Zone, I was just
that was crazy.
I was
That's
the
crazy.
whole time. Like just hearing the music before even getting to work on the project was like I felt so privileged.
Yeah. Wait, before the album was released?
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Bro,
you're getting insider information. This is crazy.
They sent me unreleased media in Lagos. I had to double check. Like, are you sure you sent this thing to the right person? Like,
so do you have to sign like NDAs for that kind of stuff?
No, okay. My NDA is like applies to everything I work, so it's like I can't share anything.
Like the employment contract.
Okay.
Exactly. So
very cool.
There's some stuff that I worked on at work that in perpetually you can't share even after it's done. But that's crazy. So that's going to the grave. Y'all can't even know about it.
Very cool. Do you guys have dream artists that you hope to work with one day? Either with set design, musically, with album cover work, in any capacity?
I'll say all my dream artists, it's not even with like animation, it's like collaborating as a musician. And I'll say
I mean, it's so many different levels. Definitely like artists that I kind of want to produce for. Mike, you feel me? Nyante, El Custo, a lot of the people that are kind of making beats or performing on beats that I resonate with.
Right.
And I don't really make beats in the same vein, but it feels like it's coming from the same energy.
I think it's
but
it's definitely adjacent.
But like in hopefully I'm finding my own lane.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It really I don't know. I'm open to anything, God. any collaboration. But
Any collaboration.
definitely.
Okay. Come on. I also wanted to talk about specifically the Sunshine EP. I found it interesting that you, again, you were told, I mean, I mentioned earlier that you were talking about taking a while to come to music.
Yeah.
And so the way you approached that album was starting off with a comic, right?
Mhm.
And so I looked at the comic,
Yeah.
but I was trying to see the connection between the comic and
And
the
the
album.
music.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I feel like the more I work on music, and I'm actually working on the follow up to Sunshine right now.
Great.
The next EP.
Coming soon.
It's connected. Everything's connected. But I'm working on that right now, and like it's making me reflect on how I approach Sunshine, because it was very much like storytelling for me, but it was also me kind of leaning on my strengths to be able to like quote unquote come out as a musician, you know. And I feel like the story is definitely not one to one, like you know, related to the music, but I kind of approached it as like making a soundtrack for like a movie, you know.
Yeah.
And I had this world I built for Sunshine that was like holding the core emotion of what I was trying to do with my music. It was just talk about like wanting to be on vacation. And it was like no work.
It's not always
It's just
all
like
the dream.
I just want to be on vacation. I want to make my millions and just make it out this, you know, 9 to 5. But
Right.
yeah,
That's still the dream. That shit alive.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that was it.
And the production process for that, what did you guys work together on that?
We worked on a song together, yeah. But I'll say I came to Raj to just like share songs, get his thoughts, and like especially with the post production part, like he was on Sunshine actually. It was on the title track, like the background vocals, because Maz be singing, you don't know.
Right.
And I think a lot of the stuff is like, yo, listen to this. Like, tell me what you think about this. Or we'll work on like for some of his tracks, I've done like alternative drum tracks to it. And sometimes it just helps you realize like what you don't want in the track, and like how you can. It's like there's like subtle ways we're involved in each other's projects that aren't necessarily direct and like, oh, you're on the album. Yeah, I got some vocals in there.
Do you guys record in here?
Yeah,
man.
You use the studio.
Yeah,
we're sitting in Kamal and Raj's home, right? But you guys do everything here. Like in that corner, that's where Raj is doing tattoos. There's a drum set over here. You guys love grilling. I'm gonna throw that in there because the chicken be tasty.
You gotta grow up to make.
You guys have a really lovely home where you've been able to sort of express your creativity, and it's all over the walls. It's in the feeling of this home, which I really just enjoy. Kamal, Raj, I really want to talk about your tattoos. So Raj did my first. You guys I don't know if you guys can see. Well, my first tattoo right here. It's cowrie shells. Because money things. You got some. You have a lot of tattoos. You're tatted up. I don't think they can really tell, but you tatted up. Can you tell us the stories about at least some of these? This one.
Okay. This one was probably one of the first ones I did. You wanna? I got you. This one's probably one of the first ones I did. Hand poke tattoo. I did this in the dorm in Parsons.
You did it yourself?
Yeah, I did it myself.
How many of your tattoos have you done yourself versus?
A majority of them.
Wow.
Honestly.
Okay.
That's why it's mostly on my left arm because I started doing it on my right arm.
Right.
This is the very first one I did. It's a very shitty Saturn. I don't even know why I did Saturn. When my mom saw it, she slapped the hell out of me. I was like 16 and a half at that time. And yeah, in retrospect, very dangerous. don't tattoo at home with a sewing needle. But yeah, they've just grown. My love of tattoos have just grown. I have some stuff on like my leg that I experimented with. It's mainly just practice stuff that I'm just like, oh, I want to try doing it this way. And then eventually I got a machine a few years into doing tattoos. And then, yeah, I think this is the most recent one I've done where it's like kind of exploring a different style. Before everything was very illustrated outline stuff. But I'm trying, it's evolving. It's evolving as it goes.
And they're all black tattoos, right?
All
you don't have
black,
any color.
yeah.
You said to me once that you...
Pop of red,
pop of red. Okay. You said to me once that you didn't really love working with color.
Yeah, I don't like working with color. Well, I just haven't worked with color.
Okay.
Really. But it's more or less the same. I think how the ink takes or people's skin takes the ink varies based on the person, but also based on the ink. So it's more variability. Um, but yeah, even in my art, I think a lot of my stuff I do is just black and white, and it's always called to me just how much information you can get in a black and white image, or just with black ink without all the colors, and with just like dark and light. But
Kamal, do you have any rules like that? Like not rules, but
Are you
no,
more
it's,
it's a rule.
no, it's like a constraint pretty much.
Mhm.
And yeah, funny enough, like we both have similar like backgrounds with like ink, because we draw in black ink a lot. But I feel like I'm the opposite when it comes to color. I love like color is like an important part of my art, and a lot of times it's very bright colors, like bright red, bright blue. People be asking me, Nadia's always like, why are you always using orange? Why are you using, like this colors that like people don't necessarily wear, or like, would just, gravitate to all the time. But I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like there's an emotion that color has that you just immediately feel like it's back to what we're talking about with like Santi and the music.
Right.
There's some, you just put like orange and blue together, certain shades of them,
Right.
and you just immediately
Go next.
feel, you just feel, you just know what it means. Go
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
But yeah, people have their different associations. Like I can say that orange and blue, and somebody will be thinking Lucozade. I mean, it's more like yellow and red. But, it's like there's different ways to think of it.
We've mentioned Nadia a couple times now. I feel like I'd be remiss to not shout out my girl. I mean, Nadia is definitely one of your muses. She's the cover art for you dropped like a two song, two track EP, and she's the cover art for that. She's, in terms of, I mean, stuff you've done with fashion with your brother, who's a fashion designer, and Nadia's in all of those videos, and she's a stunning influencer, scientist, creative, alter queen. How is having her around as a muse? How has that sort of also pushed your creativity? It's always about the women, guys. At the end of the day,
no, at the end of the day, all this love music.
It's all about the women.
It's actually funny because I remember like this is a little bit unrelated, but I remember like hanging out with some friends and we're just playing music, and someone said something like, most music is about love, like at the core. It can be love for money, it can be love for love for the game, whatever.
But it's love.
But it's usually about love. And I think that's very important in like my practice right now, especially with music, because I feel like before I was rapping from a very abstract place of love or abstract emotions, but now it's like it's very clear what I'm trying to say. It might still sound abstract because I think things are open for interpretation, but it's usually coming from that emotion of love, like the love I have with Nadia, and
it was hypothetical before.
Now it's
real. I'm waiting for the wedding invitation. No pressure. Raj, what about for you? I don't know if she's shy. I don't know if I should.
I mean,
name drop.
She's a shy girl.
How is that? How is having your girlfriend around also?
Definitely very encouraging. I think it's always good having someone you can share stuff that, to be honest, I wouldn't even share with, the friend group.
And men never do. They always again, it's all about the women.
No, we open up together. We're not toxic like that. We're not toxic. But I mean, in a lot of different ways. I'm a lover boy, but I find that I don't make a lot of like love songs. Maybe because mainly my stuff is production, so it's yeah. I was about to say something out of pocket. I make beats to make love too.
Ooh. Lovely. Okay, I'll stop teasing you guys for now. Recently you organized an event here in Brooklyn, Tracks on Wax. Talk a little bit about that, how that series is going to grow, and what the people can expect.
I'm excited for it because I actually don't know where Tracks on Wax is gonna go, but it started off from the project I dropped with my friend Max that we brought up before, and yeah, Max is just like an insane producer slash musician, and yeah, the whole project stemmed from his love for music, and he wanted to like kind of document a very specific scene in the UK for a bit, and you know we made the project. It was very sample based, rapping over that, and then I had the idea to do like tracks on wax as like bring your own vinyl and just like celebrate, you know, this music, this like this form of documenting music, and yeah, now it's kind of grown to something um a little bit more like community based. I feel like talking to Nadia and you know seeing the ideas that she has for where it could go. She's also brought in a lot of her, you know, like she's put her footprint in like in what tracks on wax could be. And I can't say much because it just started.
It's just we're just getting there. So, by the time this episode comes out, maybe the second one would have happened or be happening soon. Yeah.
But all I can say is from the first one, like it's definitely gonna have to be more than what we just did because there's a lot of people who really just appreciated it, people who I'd never met before who are like, when are we doing the next one? You know, so I really excited.
Do you have any what's it called Meji merch? Because so Kamal worked on collab with Meji. You're doing design for fashion as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's my shirt? I feel like all the girls have the Meji. Where's my drip?
She only says we won on my side.
I think I'd fit. What was that like? What's that? Because that's also sort of a new frontier. How was that?
Honestly, it's not. I would say it's a new frontier for me. Like personally, I've always had the idea of designing clothes and stuff. Like I've always done it like in the back. It was usually graphic things because I did study graphic design in college. And I met Tolu through Dots.
Shout out Tolu.
Shout out Dots.
Shout out Dots. Shout out Dots.
Shout out Dots. But I met Tolu through Dots when we were in our Parsons days. And Tolu is just like an amazing fashion designer. Outside of the stuff in Meji, which is definitely like, you know, street fashion and all that. She does a lot of like, you know, more technical like fashion designing as well.
Couture shit.
Exactly. Okay, right. That, you know, eventually she'll bring that out for us. Right. Yeah.
Tolu, please.
Yeah.
I need something.
But yeah, I mean, Tolu, honestly, we just like hit it off, and I don't even remember how we started working together, but it was probably very, you know, it wasn't like fashion at first until she realized that I did graphic design. And very early on, like since 2020, like we've been, when Meji started, it's about to be 5 years old now. Right. Like literally
time flies.
End of June.
No.
So yeah, in 2020 when she started the Meji brand, she hit me up and we worked on the classic, like we could put the design up in the video. The classic Meji tee with the, you know, Meji mama and everything. And since then it's just been, you know, back and forth. The chemistry is amazing. Yeah.
And the chemistry is definitely an important piece. Yeah, like we've talked about. What about you, Raj? Have you ever done any fashion related work? No. That's not really your forte.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I think it's very interesting. We have a lot of fashion friends that we went to Parsons with.
One of your friends thought I went to Parsons. Am I cool enough?
Really?
I feel like can I give Parsons?
Yeah, give a Parsons. I'll be like, oh, I never saw you.
I'm claiming it. Because all the cool kids went to Parsons. I mean, I think I suppose tattooing is, I guess, a form of fashion. That's the way people express themselves. Yeah. People are considering their tattoos when they're putting on outfits.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know. That's a trade that I'm more of a consumer in. And as a jack of all trades, I'm like, I need to start offloading. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, fashion's sick as fuck. Most of like the people around us that are fashion designers like are my biggest inspirations. They're the ones that are like definitely paving the way, honestly, for a lot of us. But yeah, maybe in the future, you never know. Yeah.
Are you guys happy with the choices you've made that have sort of led you to where you are now? The creative choices you made? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel happy with it, and I know honestly, sometimes I think about it like as just like the kind of lifestyle artists have,
Mm-hmm.
and the kind of uncertainty that comes with like choosing a creative path and like really putting your all into that. And like I could have done finance, and I've just been safe and just done something like that. But I think ultimately, like all the time, it feels good for my soul. It feels good, like the lifestyle, like the kind of people that I end up around. And
Like too much.
the kind of people that end up around, and like the kind of things I'm introduced to by practicing my art. I feel like just the way of life to an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much would you say your family, both of you, has sort of had a role in that to make you feel comfortable and confident in your creative careers? I think a lot of people, I mean, I always say this, but I think African culture sometimes can be a little frowns upon sort of pursuing creativity as a full-time career.
Yeah. You want to go first?
How would you say?
I mean, I'll say my parents definitely encouraged me,
Mm-hmm.
which is not common in Nigeria. But even with them encouraging me, I had to like kind of stand my ground on a lot of things that I wanted to pursue, and like show them the value in it as well, because they gave me they trusted me to do a lot of the things I'm doing now. But I think it's also because I was able to like show them that there is a life, with art that could exist, and they also understand because they have like some creative backgrounds as well. Like my mom, not as much. My mom would be looking at my stuff and I'll just be like,
she doesn't get it.
I don't understand it. I don't understand anything. And she'd be telling me to my face, which is needed. It's not everybody that will get it, but my dad definitely encouraged me because he worked in advertising, and like a lot of the people who I looked up to growing up were people he worked with as well. And like people who would be showing me anime, like why won't I be into art?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think similarly, like my mom, shout out mom. She definitely has always provided the tools for me to be able to express myself.
Even though she was upset about the tattoo.
Even though she was there was a period of time where she wanted the tattoo for me after many years of doing tattooing.
Did you do it?
I did not do it.
Why?
She wanted to genie on me, but I honestly just haven't gone back with my tattoo machine.
Okay.
Again. And this was like maybe 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
And she moved to Atlanta. Anyway. I think also my mom she definitely one of my biggest critics, because especially earlier on and stuff.
Right.
So it was definitely like encouragement. But also she'd be the first one to tell me like, I don't understand this. Like I don't resonate with this. Like you need that realness. But
I think there's power in being misunderstood, isn't there? Isn't that where challenge and growth comes from? I feel like the more we run away from misunderstanding, the more confused we get as a society. Maybe I'm being meta.
I think you're completely valid. I think it's definitely something I've not struggled with, but I've been learning more recently to kind of lean into, and knowing that there is power in that. But for the longest time, like I was saying earlier, just always having to move back and forth. There's always a silver lining of connection, but there's always that gray area of like feeling like you can't connect to someone because you're misunderstood, and you're not making things or seeing things in the way other people are.
Right.
So it can kind of create friction, but for the most part, you realize what it takes to like make it out here, and like what it takes to like stand out and pave your own path. It kind of takes a little bit of that, like a little bit of being in your own lane and leaning
individuality.
Exactly.
No, I agree. I think it forces you to kind of like look at yourself even closer. Like it forces you to be like, why do I actually do this? It's like, why do I feel like I need to do this thing? I don't know.
Right.
I feel like those questions bring out clarity in what you're actually doing.
Absolutely.
Back to, sorry, I don't want to jump back.
Yeah.
Like, am I happy with the creative decisions I've made? For the most part, yes. I think there have been a lot of regrets as far as like and I don't regret it now, but like in the moment it felt like it was the wrong thing to do. But even going into school for architectural design, after I started getting a lot of traction for like my fine art practice, and I was interning at galleries and looking for spaces to put my art, and there was a lot of traction going with that. And then when I went to switch gears to architectural design, all of that kind of flooded and went out the window. And for the longest time, up until after I had an architectural internship, like after graduation, and I stumbled into the world of like built environments and experiential design, that I was like, yeah, I'd wasted my time. I should have just gone to school for fine art, be selling pieces for 20,000,
yeah, exactly.
30,000,
exactly.
15 pieces a month, and just like, you know.
I mean, do you think it's too late?
I don't think so. And that's why there's always moments of like, damn, I regret not doing that 10 years sooner. But it's also like I would not be in this position if I didn't make those leaps that, you know, led me on a different creative path.
Right.
Ultimately, you know, I think they all converge. They're all going to converge into one.
They all feed into each other. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I think you can still do it. Just...
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Everything is connected. Everything is connected. I really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you guys so much for doing this with me. Please plug where they can find you, where they can find your music, where they can find your projects, and any other things you want to share.
You can find me on Instagram as Kamal Adisa, one word, Kamal Adisa. You can find my music, Kamal. Just look up Kamal Sunshine, because I feel like there's like 50 Kamal.
Yeah.
But look up Kamal Sunshine. You'll probably find the rest of my work. And yes, Spotify, Apple, all the DSP. Yeah.
The SEO, the search engine optimization is not easy.
That's what I have to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Just look up
Exactly.
KA. You'll find my name.
Exactly. Soon come.
You can find me on Instagram at RJKMR_. It's my name, Raj Kumar, without vowels. I'm probably going to make an artist page very soon, so there's not confusion. But on Spotify and all the big streaming platforms is Yawnee, YAWNEE, Yawnee. Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Okay, 100%. I will definitely be posting, obviously, clips from this episode, but also just any other events you guys have coming up and songs and everything like that. Yeah. Thank you, guys. This has been In the Mix with Mariah. Woo!
And that's a wrap.
Okay. Living in the next state. I've been on your line all day. You've been living in my mind sometimes. Where you going like where you been? Keep making love to me. Come sing your harmony. I give her nominee. Not just talking, I'm promising. I'm confident. Know your love gon' come again. I lean back, no content. I ain't check my time and shit. This is too uncommon. Niggas too incompetent. I've been too on top of it. Okay. Living in the next state. I've been on your line all day. You been living in my mind sometimes. Where you going like where you been? Keep making love to me. Come sing your harmony. I give her nominee. Not just talking, I'm promising. I'm confident. Know your love gon' come again. I lean back, no commenting. Lose it. It's worth losing. Said she like my taste in music. There's no point trying changing me. No substitution. Is it easier to say these things when things start to get difficult? When I say these things, do you want me to cross the 7 seas? Wondering if he'll make it up. Just saying these things, I won't say too much, room to try. Shawty love to act like she's too shy. It's getting quiet here, man, who died? Yeah, shawty be the same, but who died? I was trying to pull up in a coupe light. 2 seats unite. Touch goes tonight. Ring around the roses, girl, I'm spinning. The way that you move to me, all the things that you're doing to me. Can't decide if I want to stop. My love language evolving, touching. I don't know what you're doing now. All I know is affecting me. Where you going like where you been? Keep making love to me. Come sing your harmony. I give her nominee. Not just talking, I'm promising. I'm confident. Know your love gon' come again. I lean back, no comments. Is it easier to say these things when things start to get difficult? When I say these things, do you want me to cross the 7 seas? Wondering if he'll make it up. Just saying these things, I won't say too much.